Hello, lawyers and law students, wherever you are in the world. I'm Catherine, and this is my friend Rachel.
Hello.
Hello. Look at this question. Can you smash TOLES Foundation questions? I'll explain what TOLES Foundation is and then see if you can answer the questions. We do a series of online tests in legal English. It's 26 years old and it comes at 3 levels of difficulty. And foundation is kind of beginner elementary legal English. So please stay with us, even if your own English is intermediate or advanced, because you just might be foundation level at legal English. We're going to find out. Rachel, have we got a lot of questions here to
We
go
have
through?
we have a couple. We have a couple out of each section of the exam, so there's 10 sections.
Right. So there are 10 sections in this test, and we've got one or two questions from each section
Yeah.
for our listeners to try out. Um, let's just go to question one and see if people can smash it. Which word does not belong in the group? Dividend, lease, shareholder, company. And the answer is lease. It's because the other three are from company law and lease is a type of rental agreement. So you would get a point in the exam if you got that correct. Next one. Which word does not belong in the group? Retire, dismiss, resign, trespass. And the answer is trespass. I hope you smashed it. The reason is the other three are all ways of leaving your employment, and trespass is to go on someone's land without their permission, which my little dog does nearly every day. Oh my goodness, Rachel.
This is section 2 now. It gets
Section
harder.
2. It's actually easier than it looks. What you've got
Hmm.
to do is find the error. What is the mistake in that sentence? And then you circle the word that is the incorrect word. Here's the sentence. My client borrowed £100,000 from his bank and he is paying interests at a rate of 8.5%.
That's a
Which
lot.
word is incorrect? And yes, it's L, interests. And the reason is interest is an uncountable noun, like sheep and cheese. So you cannot add that S. That's what the problem is. That's section 2 of the foundation test. What's next?
Another one.
Another one. Here's the sentence. I run a gym as a sole trader for many years until I retired at the age of 66. I'm just going to read it again. I run a gym as a sole trader for many years until I retired at the age of 66. It's a very simple problem. I hope you
Hmm.
can see it. The answer is should be in the past tense, should be ran. So the answer is sometimes easier than you think. I hope you got that one. What's next, Rachel?
Section 3.
Oh, everyone's favourite. I find everyone in the world loves English prepositions. So at this level, you get two sentences and you have to choose which one uses the correct preposition. Employees are entitled for 25 days holiday every year, or employees are entitled to 25 days holiday every year. 4 or 2? And the answer is 2. I'm sorry if you got it wrong. It's English prepositions. There's nothing I can do except put it in our courses and ask you to remember it. Let's go. Oh, again. Okay, again from section 3 of foundation level. Which sentence uses the correct preposition? The court served the claim to the company at its registered office address. The court served the claim on the company at its registered office address. To or on, which sentence is correct? To serve a claim on someone. It could be in your first language, the preposition is different. The trouble is, prepositions change in translation, so that's why we test them at this foundation level. What's next?
Section 4.
Oh, okay. So section 4 is actually a full paragraph of a true story from law. And then you get, I think, 5 true or false questions. So this is just an example. In 2019, a British woman named Jennifer Proctor went on holiday to Spain. Miss Proctor, aged 27, was training to be a teacher at the time of her holiday on the Spanish island of Mallorca. True or false? Jennifer Proctor was an experienced teacher at the time of her holiday to Mallorca. And the answer is false. She was training.
Yeah.
She was still very inexperienced. So in section 4, you'll get a little true story with 5 true or false questions.
Section 5 now.
Oh, this is a bit more tricky. You speak on the phone with a client and write down, look at that typo, write found.
My fault. I'm so sorry.
You're fired.
Terrible.
Forgive us. In your real exam, it will say write
Yeah,
down.
in your real exam, there
You
definitely won't
speak
be
on
any
the
type.
phone with a client and write down some notes about their problem for a colleague in your law firm. Choose the correct options to complete the notes. So, sentence 1, Ms. Cooper called us something because she resigned from her job yesterday. Now, what do you want to put on that gap? Miss Cooper called us for law advice. Miss Cooper called us for the legal advice. Miss Cooper called us for a law advice. Or Miss Cooper called us for legal advice. Which one?
For legal
Yep,
advice.
for legal advice. So you would get 1 point if you got that correct. Most questions at this level are 1 point if you get them correct, 0 if you get it wrong.
Another one from section 5.
So it's the same story. Here's the sentence. As you know, Primary Shop is a huge retail chain. Ms. Cooper resigned after she something concerning sexual discrimination to the head office of Primary Shop and they took no action to help her. What do you want to put in gap number 2? Reported a grievance, reported an injustice, told a grievance, said an injustice. You can only choose one. 3 of them are wrong. And the correct answer, Miss Cooper resigned after she reported a grievance to her head office. I hope you got it right. 1 point. And I think you can see this is foundation level legal English and it's quite hard to smash. You've got to be very, very precise. Get that typo off my screen, Rachel. Right, I like section 6. It's a putting things into categories test. Match the phrase given in italics with the area of law it belongs to. So the phrase is, to adjourn until a later date. Would you put that in the category of an insolvent company, working as a sole trader, or a company meeting to adjourn until a later date? And the answer is company meeting. You have to adjourn. Maybe you didn't get a quorum, not enough people to hold the meeting. But in all of our books and courses, you'll find that phrase in company law. Next, another one. This time the phrase is to be personally liable for the debts of the business. In the word debt, that B is silent. To be personally liable for the debts of the business. Is that an insolvent company, working as a sole trader, or a company meeting? Yeah.
Trader.
Sole traders are liable. You learn law by accident, really, don't you, Rachel?
I really do, yeah.
Because you knew it was sole trader and you
I
have
did.
never studied law. Um, Companies are not personally liable. That's the point of being a company. Sole trader, your money and the business's money are the same thing, so you could lose your house. And working as a sole trader is the correct answer there.
Section 7.
Section 7 is a gap fill. So you get sentences like this, and you've got to choose the correct option and put it in the gap. Here's the sentence. The parties signed a contract with a commencement date of the 1st of March and an date of the 31st of August. Now, if you don't know, an should give you a clue. Shall I read the options very quickly? Are you ready? Redundancy, conflict, deed, deterrent, statute, resolution, expiration, premises, redress, recitals, absence, retention, nuisance, mortgage, copyright. And the answer is
Expiration.
expiration. And because of the an, even if you didn't know the word, you should know it's that one because it begins with a vowel.
Yeah.
So there was a little clue for you there if you didn't know. What else have we got?
Another one.
Another section 7. The options are the same. The buyer agreed to collect the goods from the seller's commercial something in central London. Take a few seconds to choose, and the answer is premises. The buyer agreed to collect the goods from the seller's commercial premises in central London. So section 7 really is a legal vocabulary test. Rachel, you see more completed papers than I do.
Yeah.
I work more in producing these papers, but you send out the results and you do see the papers. Do people usually get section 7 correct?
I always find that this is the one that a lot of people find tricky. I think it's because all of the options stay the same, so you've got to remember which options you've already used.
Yeah. And if you know the words, it's easy. But
Yeah,
if there are 2 or 3 that you don't know, it becomes a guessing game.
yeah.
So to prepare, you should just learn quite a lot of basic legal vocabulary. And this is why I said at the beginning, your ordinary English might be intermediate, high intermediate, but your legal English could be foundation unless you know a lot of vocabulary, prepositions, areas of law. It really is the foundation you need to build on to become really good at legal English. What's section 8? I can't remember.
It's a tricky one, I think. I think a lot of people struggle with this one as well. because it's hard to know the definition of a word that you maybe don't know.
Exactly. So what we do here, you can't see it, but we give you this a section from a real contract.
Yeah.
And we underline some of the words in the contract and we ask you to match them with the definitions that we provide. And the word we've chosen here from the contract is construed.
Hmm.
So I will very quickly read you the options. Do you think construed means a term or condition contained in a contract? Have the right to compel someone to comply with their obligations? Completely cut out, deleted, give or transfer to another person or organisation? Formally decided by a court? Well, I'm going to help you if you don't know and say it's none of those. The answer is in the second column. Here we
Yeah.
go. Suggesting, indicating, considered, regarded as, the voluntary giving up of a right, renouncing a right, in advance, before, interpreted, understood, establish, create, amount to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To construe means to interpret or to understand. So construed is interpreted, understood. And we take you through a section of a contract, and for every underlined word, you've got to choose what it means. I hope you got that one correct.
Hmm. Another one.
Okay. Held. Held.
Hmm.
Just take another look, and this time it's in the first column, not the second one. Is it A, B, C, D, E, or F?
It is.
It's F. So a court doesn't decide something, it holds. For example, the court held that the defendant had to pay the claimant £1 million. The court held that the defendant was guilty. So it's a verb to hold, past tense, formally decided by a court. So you need to know a little bit of basic contract vocabulary in English to do well in section 8. What's next?
A 9. It's my favourite section. It's worth 2 points.
Oh, this is the high scoring
Yes.
section.
This is the high stakes.
High stakes,
High
very
stakes.
difficult to smash. And the reason it's difficult is we do not give you any choices. You have to get the word from your brain onto the test paper. But we do tell you what the word begins with. So you get a text. This one is about the formation of a contract, and you've got to tell us what the missing word is. So the word we're looking for here begins with a B. Let's go. The rules for the formation of a contract under the common law are significantly different from the rules concerning contracts in codified systems of law. To form a contract in the UK, a court must be able to see the elements of a contract. These are offer, acceptance, consideration, etc. So, what word beginning with B could go in that gap? Have a think. It ends in a G. Second letter is I. I can't do this for you in the real test. B-I, B-I-N. And the answer is
Binding.
binding. Yeah, I was spelling it out. Yeah. To form a binding contract in the UK, a court must be able to see the elements of a contract. Okay, what's next?
It's number 2.
So the second word begins with I. So we're talking about the elements of a contract. And this is in the common law. not in your own area of law. It's probably very different. In the common law, the elements of a contract are offer, acceptance, consideration, and the something of the parties to create a legal relationship. The word begins with I, and if you can tell us what it is in the test, get 2 points. IN, INT. I do this in the classroom, you see, so I can't help doing it here. The answer is
Intention.
intention. To create a binding contract, you have to prove to the court that both parties intended for it to be a legal relationship. So if I say, I'll meet you at the cinema tonight, Rachel, and we'll go and see Sinners, and I'll pay,
That's
because
great
we both
fun.
love that movie, I'll pay. That is not a binding contract because neither of us had the intention in the eyes of the court for that to create a contract. It's a social arrangement. But we both would go because we've both said we love that movie.
It's such a good film.
If you want a bit of relief from studying legal English, watch Sinners. It's the best film I've
Fantastic.
seen for ages. No intention, no contract. If you didn't get intention, no 2 points. You've got zero. Right,
Last
what's
section.
next? Oh, this bit's hard, yeah. Now, luckily, section 10's, I think it's nice and easy. Do you?
I do too. I think it's a nice ending to the exam. A lot of people do really well on section 10.
Yeah. So, section 10, again, is a true story, and we give you the full story. Here, we've just given you 3 lines, but in the real test, it's a page
Yeah.
of a true story. This one is about Johnny Depp. Rachel, Team Amber Heard or Team Johnny Depp?
Oh, controversial.
There's a good
I
Netflix show about it.
there is. I don't like either of them, but will always I will always stand with the women in these
Your Team
situations.
Amber.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. There is a good Netflix show about this story if you want to know more.
Yeah.
So, it's a story with 10 comprehension questions, and we give you 10 answers to choose from. I'll read you the text. On the 27th of April 2018, a British newspaper called The Sun published an article on its website about the American actor Johnny Depp. The author of the article was a journalist named Dan Wooden. Oh,
Hmm.
oh. If you want to know about Dan Wooden, look on YouTube. He's a good hate watch.
Yeah.
If you want to watch something that'll make you feel disgusted, Dan Wootton is your man. Johnny Depp took legal action against the owners of The Sun, News Group newspapers, NGN, on the grounds of defamation. Who owns The Sun newspaper? It tells you the owners of The Sun, News Group newspapers, NGN. So the answer is
NGN.
that's how easy it
Unsurprisingly.
is. The section 10 really is foundation level, and you can score 10 easy points. I think there are 100 points on the whole
Yes.
paper. The only section where you get 2 is where you have to provide the answer from your brain. That's 1 easy point there. So section 10 is always a true story, and it's always easy. You'd have to be Dan Wootton to not get it correct.
Yeah.
That's how much I don't like him. Right, he's attacking Meghan Markle endlessly at the moment, and
He
it
is.
seems personal. I think, did he invite her on a date and she said no? Something. Anyway,
He's a
none of
lunatic.
that's in the test. The test is legal English. We're just gossiping. Is that us finished, Rachel?
That's
Or is
all of our questions.
that's all of our questions? So if you go to the website TOLES Legal,
Mhm.
you'll find a complete foundation paper that you can practice on, and it's free and it looks exactly how it looks in the real test. And
Yeah.
you do get quite a nice certificate, don't you, to add to your
Yes, I've put
CV?
in a photo if you'd like to have a look. It's
Wow,
very
yes.
beautiful.
You're very organised, Rachel, despite your typo.
Despite my terrible typo, I
I'm just
know.
checking you've spelt beautiful correctly. You have. Well done.
Thank you.
So, with none of the Catherine and Rachel gossip and all of the legal English questions, that's TOLES Foundation. Go and check it out at toleslegal.com. And I'm off for my cup of tea, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, Rachel.
Bye.